Hey everyone, you might recognize me and Eric here from the Nintendo Prime Podcast. I just want to let you know before you get into this segment that this merchandise you see on our shirts and on our cups and on anything else you ever see with Nintendo Prime branding on it, you can get in the description below. You can also get the full audio podcast, not segmented, in the description below. And if you would like early access to our podcast, please go over to patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. For $5 a month, you gain early access to the full audio podcast. And Mr. Eric, what do you get for $20 a month?
Ooh, you get to join us on a podcast.
That is right. So, if you would like to ever be on the Nintendo Prime Podcast, get your voice in front of thousands of other Nintendo fans out there, you know what to do. Hit up that $20 tier on Patreon. Anyways, folks, on to the episode. So now we're going to continue to not talk about Odyssey by mentioning Odyssey one more time. So by the time you listen to this podcast, Odyssey's out. I mean, yeah. I literally, of course it's out. It's not while we're recording, but it will have been for almost a week by the time you hear this. Yeah. So we can't really say that Odyssey is our most anticipated game coming up anymore because by the time you listen to this, it's already out. So what is the next big Switch game? Third party, indie, exclusive, non-exclusive. First, let's go with first exclusive game that we're looking forward to most, and why.
Ooh, that I'm not even sure about.
I know I said it doesn't need to be exclusive, but I feel like if we just go around and just list one game each, we're going to be done in like 2 seconds. So I'm actually going to go like, what's our most anticipated exclusive? And if none of that happens to be an indie game, then we'll go like most anticipated indie and most anticipated third party. Now, Eric's getting screwed on indie because he has no idea.
I'm going to be screwed on like everything.
I've already mentioned a bunch of third party ones.
Yeah, well, do you think I was paying attention?
Well, you know some of these third parties. You know some of these.
Great co-host.
I know, right?
And I don't want to hear you don't know any first party games coming. I know you know some first party games coming. Don't keep giving me these blanks. You have a phone in front of you. You can look up.
Yeah, there you go.
I will go over to 5J for what exclusive is he looking forward to most. I'll give you a second to refresh your memory on what's coming to Switch. Yes, folks, this is the co-host of the Nintendo Prime Podcast. I got to get my pot shots in when I can.
Oh, I know.
Because in real life, Eric's just ripping me a new one all the time. So this is the one advantage I have over him is on my own channel, I know more.
Congratulations.
What I do for a living, I know more. Oh my gosh. All right, 5J, hit me up. What's your most anticipated exclusive Switch game coming?
Well, I got a few things listed down here, and I think the only exclusive that I have listed for my anticipated games is Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
All right.
Which was an easy choice for me because I was one of the folks during the Wii era that was part of, Operation Rainfall, that was begging Nintendo to bring these 3 RPGs that were out in Japan and Europe that they did not bring to the US, and we had a total drought of games. It made no sense why they wouldn't bring these 3 games over, and they kept making excuses. One of those games was Xenoblade Chronicles, and that was easily the best of those 3 games that they did all eventually bring to America. And man, I love that game. To me, that game is what Final Fantasy should have become.
Ooh.
I absolutely love this game.
Take.
It is a futuristic, quick playing RPG with a really good story. It was such a cool. The only bad thing, of course, was that the Wii was so underpowered that it basically looked like PS2 textures. And so visually it was held back, but it had this gigantic scale to the gameplay that still made it very impressive. And so for me, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is an amazing, amazing thing that they're making a sequel, finally. X was really sort of a spin-off. It wasn't related to the first Xenoblade Chronicles.
A very good spin-off.
Yeah, and it was a very different approach, too. It was very open world.
It almost felt like it could have been a new IP. But I felt like X could have been a new IP.
Oh, totally.
But they're like, hey, we got this popular Xenoblade thing. Let's just keep that going.
Yeah, and I think it was probably a good idea because then that sets the door for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 hype. Because Xenoblade Chronicles didn't sell out that well.
Like the mechs and everything, like that wasn't in the
Skells.
First. Yeah, Skells. My bad.
Yeah, not in there at all.
Yeah,
You're right.
So it's like That, I mean, literally, you could have just made a new IP.
Yeah, they could have, but I kind of like that now they've opened the door for a more mech-based, spin-off world of Xenoblade. I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe you could change the title one day. Suddenly it has a subtitle on all the games, and then one day the subtitle becomes the main title. Who knows? But anyways, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 looks beautiful. It looks huge and expansive, and it's a JRPG at long last. So, my exclusive pick.
Nice. Here's what sucks. I feel bad picking games for exclusives that we haven't even seen yet. Like, my heart wants to say, oh, well, I should definitely go. You just did Xenoblade, so that's off the list. So I should go, Snipper Clips Plus, or go with, Yoshi or Kirby, like games that we've actually seen gameplay of. But my heart just keeps pulling me into Pokemon Switch.
Yeah.
Like, I have not, and here's the weird thing.
Whoa, but you don't even know that's coming out. There's no other exclusive you're looking forward to.
We just know it exists.
Okay.
The fact that it exists is enough for me.
That is great.
Since I was a kid, I've wanted a console quality Pokemon game. And you know what? We don't really know if this is going to be a console quality Pokemon game. For all we know, it could be Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon in HD. Literally the kind of Pokemon games we've been getting this whole time, but in HD. And if that's the case, I'm going to be pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
But assuming that they could take this to the next level, the level that I think I've always felt like Pokemon was held back by being handheld. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's open world. I don't know if it's first person perspective, third person. I have no idea. I don't know what I want. I have no idea.
Right.
But my mind was always like, it felt like Pokemon could be so much more than it is on a home console. And now it's a hybrid. So you could argue, well, we still are getting a true home console, but whatever. They're the most powerful handheld of all time.
Yeah.
Definitely less restrictions. What are they going to do? The kind of handheld they can have Super Mario Odyssey. That's what I want to see, that kind of Pokemon game. Pokemon game to that level of quality. Mm-hmm. And my hopes are high. My expectations are tepid. Because I don't know, especially when they said, oh, our most veteran Pokemon people are working on the game. It's like, but your veteran Pokemon people are the ones that have been making Pokemon games the last 15 years I don't like. Mm-hmm. Or I shouldn't say don't like. Here's the thing. Haven't been interested enough in to give a chance. Mm-hmm. Because if I would have played them, maybe I would have ended up really loving it.
Well, maybe if your demo didn't blow chunks.
Oh, here we go. You need Darren back on the podcast so he could yell at us about it. By the way, we had a Darren sighting on the website.
Holy cow. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he showed up. Yeah. He made a post about Animal Crossing, the new game.
Yeah, I saw that.
Phones. I'm like, you're alive? Fun fact, he actually gave me the install. I actually have the new Animal Crossing game right now on my phone.
Oh, nice.
It was released in Australia.
Oh.
What? That's nuts.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I actually have the file for it, and I was told when you install it, because the big worry is it's an Animal Crossing game. You're going to put all this work in, and then when the US version launches, not only would it overwrite it, you're not going to be able to carry your progress over. Mm-hmm. Apparently, in your profile, you can just change your country.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
So yeah.
Handy.
So, yeah. I mean, otherwise I'm like, whatever. I guess I'm just always an Aussie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have their currency, and I don't really want to use their prices on things, but whatever. I'm just not going to spend money in the game, right? That's all it's going to be. I'm going to be one of those people that tries to make a sick home, no money spent, and see what happens.
But I want a Wallaby.
Yep. I still haven't spent a penny on Fire Emblem Heroes, and I have got many, many orbs and many, many heroes recruited. So
but yeah, possible. Pokemon Switch was my choice, just because it's been my dream since I was a kid.
Yeah,
that's a choice that's like 2-3 years out, man.
Next year.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to come next year. I want it to be next year. It's not going to happen. All right. That's what I'm going with. And like I said, I feel like it's cheating because it's a game we don't know anything. Yeah. We just know that they're making it. But just that thought, oh my God, they're making the thing I've been wanting since I was 12. Since I was 10 or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, Eric, hit me. What do you got?
I'm going to cheat a little bit too. Just because, What?
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
You cheat with every topic, so.
Hey, shut up. I'm going to go with the second DLC for Breath of the Wild.
No, good choice.
Because,
because we know almost nothing about it.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
and
it's tantalizing.
It is.
Including when it's coming. It's supposed to release this fall.
Right.
It's fall.
Right.
Yep.
But,
Like another month.
Yeah. But, I mean, just looking ahead at the games outside of Odyssey, I don't really know if there's going to be much that I'm going to be picking up or have time to play between Zelda and Odyssey. So, I mean, I already have Zelda, but that second DLC of it is something that I'm actually looking forward to because it's a great game already. So,
And those amiibos are so sweet.
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get a pre-order in for them, so I don't even know when I'm going to get if I could ever get my hands on them.
Yeah.
At least some
me
of the
too.
Breath of the Wild amiibo have been restocked now, but the original. But God, that took almost 6 months, so who knows when they're going to restock these if they ever do.
Yeah. Maybe never.
So let's move on to third-party game. Let's go.
Is that me again?
Yeah. We'll go back to 5G to start.
Third party game. Okay.
Doesn't have to be exclusive. It's just third party.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few really good choices, and I don't want to just rattle them off in case one of you guys want to say it.
You're only picking one.
Right.
It's all good.
So if I have to pick just one, and I am looking at a list of several, I have to say Doom. Because Doom was one of my top games of 2016, easily. It was so much fun, and I even really enjoyed the multiplayer, which I think most people didn't even give it a try, let alone have a lot of positive things to say about it. But it felt a lot like Quake. Honestly, that multiplayer gave me a very PC game feel because it was very Quake-like. The basic gameplay of Doom is, in fact, quite Quake-like in that you have to be moving all the time. You're moving very quickly, and you have to shoot very accurately with some crazy alien, weapons. So I'm a big fan of Doom. I can't wait to play it anywhere, replay that campaign. I can't wait for maybe some of my friends to actually have Doom and me play multiplayer with them. Nobody got Doom on Xbox One, which is where I bought it. So I'm really looking forward to Doom, and I couldn't care less about those down specs because I already played it in full spec. And, well, of course, I didn't have a PC that I was playing on, but you know what I mean. In the higher quality spec, I don't care. It's a great game. It looks like it's going to play well enough for me to enjoy it anywhere, and that's all I need. So, Doom.
Eric, what do you got? I'm going last to make it easier on you.
Yeah. Make it easier on me. Thanks. Yeah. I know I've read a few reviews on it, but and it isn't living up to the hype that it apparently was supposed to. But Ukulele.
Oh, good choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's one of those things that I'm just hoping isn't as bad as the reviews.
Well, it's one of those things that a lot of the
bad.
reviews I read on it, a lot of them were like, "Hey, so this game feels too much like Banjo-Kazooie. Didn't fix any of the problems." And I just kept thinking, problems? Wait, there's problems in Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah,
so it's
matter of perspective there.
Right? So
Yeah,
it's like, I almost, like, just by my mindset, like, did you not know what we were getting?
Yeah.
How long has it been since you played a 3D platforming collectathon?
Yeah.
Have you played Mario? Odyssey's apparently a 10.
Yeah.
Come on, ukulele. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
about to say ukulele's on it.
Right. But to me,
Right.
it's nostalgia. Again, I'm a
Mhm.
big nostalgia person, and so I'm hoping that this is. Then again, I tend to not even look at reviews, which is really weird that I did. But I was actually more looking for the release date, and then I just happened to stumble across a few reviews, and was like, "Oh, do I really want that? Yeah, I want this game still." So
That's a good choice. I know you've been anticipating that for a long time, but yeah, I know we were excited when it was coming to Switch. Obviously, we're still excited, just not here.
Yeah.
I didn't play it. I read some of the reviews. I've seen gameplay. I'm like, nothing in the gameplay I've seen put me off. So there's the whole JonTron controversy, but they took him out. So what's the controversy now?
Right.
That it's just not a good game. Apparently,
yeah.
I don't know. My favorite Zelda game of all time was Zelda 2. So like,
Oh, so good.
it's Breath of the Wild now, but it's like that
So
was my
good.
favorite Zelda game, and a lot of people think it sucks. So it's like my opinions aren't going to line up maybe with the majority of gamers. I don't know.
Right.
then again, there's like, I think Sonic Mania is amazing. So do the majority of gamers. So
Well, you look at like movies with me and reviewers. I love dumb comedies. A lot of reviewers
no, reviewers
don't.
Oh
hate
man,
dumb comedies.
comedy is always reviewed terribly.
It needs to be
It's amazing.
a smart dumb comedy. I'm like, no, it doesn't. That's the point of it being a dumb comedy. It's just dumb.
Right.
It's stupid, and some people like stupid humor. That's why I said, like, get people who actually like these kind of movies to watch them.
Yeah.
Hire Eric.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What? I wouldn't mind getting paid just to watch movies.
Oh, yeah, true.
Sweet.
Well, no, very
Yeah.
true. Very, very true.
I mean, come on.
It's
I
the write-up
technically
afterwards that
make
I'll have a problem
money
with.
playing video games, although the real work isn't the playing of the game; it's everything else. But
Right.
Right.
oh man, this is tough because I was gonna say Doom. I was wondering if someone else was gonna take it. I didn't realize how much. I didn't realize how much you love Doom.
Oh my goodness, so much. When you get it, let's do multiplayer. Seriously, I'm stoked.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, we can do a live stream on that. That'd be sweet.
Yes,
Because
please.
I have not done. I didn't play Doom last year. It's a game I always wanted. I was going to get it on PC, but I just got kind of swept up.
Cool.
You know,
Great, you get to experience it for the first
so
time.
it'll be like I played Doom way back in the day. PC Doom, loved it. So I waited for reviews. It ended up being really, really well reviewed. And I'm like, okay, I got to play this sometime. And then it just kind of got lost in the crowd. And then, at that point, I was trying to save up for Switch and get that paid off. And I'm like, okay, well, I kind of got to wait. I don't really have a gaming budget right now to be spending on stuff, knowing that, hey, I got, Breath of the Wild to take care of and all this stuff that I'm invested in to pay off. I got all the amiibo and everything day one, the $100 Master Edition. Like, I gotta get all the stuff paid off before I can buy other games. And then all of a sudden, I found out January, oh, you're going to be like a Zelda Informer. So I'm like, shh, Nikes.
Good catch.
So I'm
Tommy
like,
Boy, great movie.
yeah, so I'm like, cookies or milk?
Yeah.
No, so then I'm like, well, okay, what's my future going to be? I'm like, well, let's try to make this Nintendo Prime thing work because this is my baby. Literally, like I've always said, Zelda Informer was my baby, but I didn't start.
It was never technically yours either.
Right.
It
was your adopted child that then
yeah.
somebody stole from you.
Yeah. So like, but this, let's just put it this way, because I do have like I'm a stepdad to a kid. I view myself as a full parent, blah, 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 blah. But Melody, my daughter that you guys saw on Prime Family before, she's technically my stepdaughter, or will be legally my stepdaughter eventually. And that's kind of, it would be akin to me, like, this is why it hurt. I didn't found Zelda Informer. I wasn't there at the beginning. But I came in and basically took over and was the parent of the website and made it what it is. I was there when there was no one viewing that site, and I'm the one that made it worth all the money it became worth. That was me. Now, it's not to take credit away from all the other people that worked there, but none of your work would have got seen if it wasn't for the stuff I was doing. And because of that, because of all of that stuff, when it was ripped away from me, it hurt. And it would be akin to me and my fiance breaking up and having Melody ripped out of my life. Mm-hmm. And I know, like, comparing a profession
Human
to a
life,
child, like, I understand it's, I'm almost crying. I'm now just even thinking about losing Melody. And it's not happening. So it's like,
right.
I don't have, but like the hypothetical situation, not so much I love her. I don't want her. And like, yeah, it's not like I'm never going to see her. Of course, she has brothers, half brothers that, she's going to still see now and then. Mm-hmm. But I am not going to be there every day with her anymore. It's going to be very rare that I see her and get to spend time with her and blah, 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 blah. She's already living in a split home situation. She ain't going to make it a three-way split home. Yeah, the reality is I wouldn't have any legal rights. I'm just not going to see her. And that's why it was so hard leaving Zelda Informer is it was akin to someone taking my child away from me that technically I wasn't the biological founder of, but I was the reason that child is what it is. Mm-hmm. Help along the way, just like there is with children, but it's just that's why it was hard. And when that happened, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to, I can't do anything about it. I don't have a say. So here's this other child that's like a newborn that I have never fully invested in because I was too invested in my older kid. Just kind of let it sit there, and it's at the baby phase, and it's just changing diapers, sleeping, and eating.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares about it but me. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go full board. And as soon as I did that, it's like, okay, now I definitely can't buy Doom. I definitely can't buy the games I want on PC. I have literally this year not bought, I think, let me see. I reactivated my WoW subscription for like a month because I just needed something. I needed something else to play to clear my mind. Because this isn't a knock on Switch, but when you are playing Switch games also for your job, it's very hard to sit down and just play a Switch game
and
not think about how I'm going to use this experience with my work. It's very hard to separate that sometimes. But when I play a game like World of Warcraft or Madden or these games that are not on Switch, there's no thoughts in my mind, oh, how can I relate this to my work?
Mm-hmm.
It's no, I'm just going to sit back and be just a gamer. And it's been a long time since I've been able to do that. Even when I was working at Zelda Informer, if I played a new Mario game, I'd be thinking, okay, how can I relate Mario to the Zelda series and make an article out of it?
Sure.
It's just the way my mind worked. It was all about how can I turn this into content. And that's the way I am now. I rarely play in handheld mode because when I do play games, even if I don't have a plan for it yet, I'm recording the footage I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
Might never use it. I don't know. But I know I might use it. So it's in the back of my mind, and then I got to pay attention to file size. And it actually does impact my experience with the games. Not necessarily in a negative sense, just in a sense of my ability to separate it. To have these two lives. Like, I have my kids. They're not really part of my job. So they're very much separated from what I do for a living. But it's hard for me to separate my profession and my hobby when they're the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of relate to that too. I was a lifeguard for 6 years. Now, anytime I'm in a pool, it's constantly like, I'm constantly scanning, even with not even thinking about it. It's just,
And that's the thing. Even if I stop doing Nintendo Prime someday, it'll still be, I'll always have the itch.
Yeah.
To make more videos, to make content. And I'll always be playing a game and like, oh man, I could do this amazing thing. Why wouldn't I do that? I'd make money doing that. Or I could do, it would always be like, I can't, I've told people, if Nintendo Prime doesn't work out and I can't do it full time and I have a job somewhere else and I finish my college degree and I get a programming job and all this stuff, that's all fine. But I'm never going to stop Nintendo Prime. It's just going to be less of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have less time to dedicate to it, which also means I have less time to play games anyways. That's a nice thing. The downfall is that I can't separate it. The plus side is that I actually am playing more games today. I'm playing more games now today and a bigger variety of games than I have played really since high school.
Wow, that's great.
No.
Because my entire adult life has been spent, where am I going to sleep? How am I going to make enough money to get by? Should I go to college? Should I not go to college? A lot of nights wasted drinking, not knowing where my life is going. Lived on park benches for a little bit, lived in my car for like a month. No direction in my life. Just bouncing around. And I'm not going to say that I was sad. I mean, here's the thing. Like, you go out and have drinks with your friends, you can have a blast. But, I mean, I was doing, all the time, whether I had friends with me or not, because I just had nothing else to do. And you could say, oh, you had time to play video games. But, it didn't cross my mind. It wasn't something that I'm like, oh, I should play that to make me happy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I played World of Warcraft, sure. But that wasn't all the time. I mean, if you look at my time played, it probably looks like it was all the time. But it really wasn't all the time. It really wasn't. That was just raid nights, basically. So it's just, when you think about games like Doom, and I think about all the games I've missed. Mm-hmm. When people say, why don't you own a PlayStation 4? It's not because there's not games I don't want to play. It's because, especially now in 2017, I can't figure out a way for me to justify buying it when I could spend that money on stuff for Switch I could use for work and enjoy. And that's the way it was with Doom. And this is one way, this is what I have this biased argument sometimes that I want every single game on Switch. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Even if the game is dumbed down. Because guess what? I'm not going to play it otherwise.
Yeah.
I would like to play it otherwise. And if I ever start up a second YouTube channel, I asked some people in my last live stream, hey, would you guys be interested if I started up a second YouTube channel? Not now, a couple years down the road. A tech channel, because I love tech. I love computers. I would love to mess around with computer parts and review those. I would love to, talk about Xbox. I play Xbox. I would love to have a PlayStation 4 and Xbox to have a reason to talk about it. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to start up another, I only do gaming channel, right? It would just be, kind of a general channel. I could talk about the Star Wars movie, the new Star Wars movie. I want to go see it. I want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's not relevant to my channel, so I can't talk about it. But I have these other interests and passions. Heck, I wouldn't even mind. I don't know how I can mix this in. Having a sports channel so I can talk about my sports teams.
Oh, yeah.
But Eric would be all in on that.
Yeah.
And me and him already have heated debates on some of that stuff, so it would probably be pretty entertaining. You want to talk about something Eric really knows a lot about. Let's get going with the sports, especially if we have a fantasy sports thing. Who's your hot pickup this week in fantasy? But yeah, it's that's why I like. Obviously, I'm not taking Doom because you picked it, but that's why I'm so excited that Doom is coming because I finally get to play it. And that's why I'm excited about like Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. I didn't even get to play the original Wolfenstein. I like obviously the OG Wolfensteins, the old school ones. I got to play those.
Yeah.
I think I even played the one in 2009. But like when they rebooted it, kind of, I didn't play that. Mm-hmm. Or did I play the second one? And I didn't get to play the new Colossus, but now I'm going to get to because it's coming to Switch, and I can make it relevant to what I do. But yeah, I look at those third-party games, and if I Doom's taken, Wolfenstein. I don't know enough yet on Wolfenstein.
Right. Yep.
That's the thing. I know enough about the game, right? The game's releasing same time as Mario Odyssey. Like it's out. It's cool. I can go play it right now if I really want. And I could argue. I could even make the argument. I should buy it right now to prepare content for when the Switch version starts coming out. Like comparing footage of different versions of the game. But like, there's a lot of things I could do.
Sure.
And maybe I will. Once we actually know we're going to find out more about the game, maybe I'll pick up like the PC version or something. I don't know. But
until your Xbox comes back, that's pretty much your only other console. So
yeah. Well, I might be getting the X too. So
yeah.
And again, that's the one thing. Like, I'll have the X, I'll have my gaming PC, but I won't buy any games for.
Yeah.
Woohoo! They'll look real nice.
It just looks nice. It just feels. I'm preparing for when
kind of like the NES Mini.
When it
looks nice on your shelf if you don't play it.
when I launch that second channel, I have an excuse for these purchases. That's what I keep telling myself. I keep saying, hint, hint. I want to launch the second channel. Hint, hint. I'm already buying stuff for it. Hint, hint. Okay, I'm buying it for myself. But I'm a tech. The thing is, I'm a tech enthusiast. I'm like, most powerful home console ever. I want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I want all the best PC parts. Like I'm an enthusiast of this stuff.
Right.
But yeah, the third party games. I'm gonna go with one that I actually do own. I'm gonna go with LA Noire.
Oh, sweet.
It comes out soon. Just like Doom comes out soon. Skyrim comes out soon. And I own Skyrim 2 on PC. And I own LA Noire on PC. As I said, I like playing games on PC. This was back when I was at Zelda and Fortnite when these games came out. Mm-hmm. So I was playing a little more PC games back then. Never finished LA Noire, but I loved it. The reason I didn't finish it is like a new Zelda game came out or something. So I got busy and I just never got back into it. Because LA Noire's a game I feel like you have to invest in to finish. Solving crimes. I thought was really... Like, I know people are like, it's not as good as Grand Theft Auto. It's not trying to be Grand Theft Auto.
No.
Yes, it has a little bit of an open world aspect to it, but that's not the point. You're a detective. You're trying to solve crimes. Mm-hmm. You're analyzing evidence and interviewing people, and like it's just a very different game from Grand Theft Auto. Not just because you're a criminal in Grand Theft Auto, so it's like literally like the opposite. It's just not that kind of like that expression of freedom to do anything in the world. That's not the point. You are a police officer. You shouldn't be free to do anything in the world, even though you kind of can. And in some aspects, you can run people over if you really want. It's just, why would you? Because you're defeating the purpose of the character. I guess if you're cynical, whatever.
It's always fun to
just to see what happens.
It's always fun to just save something and then just try something completely out of what you probably shouldn't do, and then just go, reload.
But basically, I'll get it on Switch because I'll finish it. I want to finish it. And the thing is, because I own it on PC, I actually could do the comparison. See, I can't do the comparisons right now because the only footage coming out is 4K stuff. Mm-hmm. And like that's obviously for Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro or PC. We're not talking about, what it's going to look like on Switch. In fact, I don't think we've even seen Switch footage yet. But we know what the game is. We know it's good. Just like Doom. We actually have seen a bunch of Switch stuff. But like we haven't seen anything Switch for LA Noire except it's coming same day. Okay. They might not even release any footage of it. It's good. I think LA Noire is probably the game that's going to sell the worst out of all the third-party games this holiday, just because all the advertising has nothing to do with the Switch. They basically just said it's coming to Switch, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they're just going to leave it that way. They're going to keep pushing it as to be like a game to pick up with your X or whatever.
Yeah, and it wasn't a huge property when it came out anyway.
It sold well, but I mean, comparatively to Rockstar's other games, it was like it was like the Metroid to the Zeldas and Marios. And their Zeldas and Marios are like Wii Sports every time.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so I mean, even then, I guess I should just say it's like comparing it to the sales of Wii Sports, but I just didn't want to put Wii Sports on the level of a Rockstar game. Again, I'm trying to think of some game quality in addition to sales. Nintendo doesn't have a lot of games that are that high quality with those kind of sales.
Yeah, which is too bad because they have games that are nuts quality, but then it's like they don't sell as well. I don't understand.
Multi-platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Individual platform wise, like in terms of sales on an individual platform, Nintendo's games perform very well. But like, let's say that Odyssey crazily moves 15 million units lifetime. Okay, well they only moved, say 15. Let's say they moved 10 million units of it on Xbox One. Oh, it outsold that version, but you're not counting the 20 million on PlayStation 4 or the 40 million on PC.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the perspective is this is why some people want Nintendo to go third party, is because of. If you look at their sales now, how good would it be if they went multi-platform? And now you have people really saying, hey, look, the Switch is the perfect time to do it. They could have Odyssey on Switch because people are going to buy it for portable.
Mm-hmm.
But they could still release it on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you because I'm going to own those platforms anyway. So it's like, I'm not buying it on Switch.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it's weird because I'm like, this one like exclusive sell systems, but then I don't like exclusives because it actually cuts off a large part of the gaming community.
Yeah.
But then if you have everything on every platform, then you really don't have a purpose to have multiple platforms. But then you do because Switch is portable and the other ones are not. So like you can argue, there should be a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, not both, and a Switch. And PC is obviously a totally separate thing because of mods and everything. So like, you should have 3 platforms, but then everything's on one system, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
It's a weird, ecosystem.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't think I think exclusives are good for consoles, not good for consumers. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there. Oh my gosh, well, how are you saying? I buy systems because of exclusives. I know.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying the exclusives to the benefit of the owner of that console.
Yeah.
The benefit to yourself is just the game, and if you go buy the game on any platform, it's not suddenly a worse game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might say, but it's at 4K on the Xbox One X. Well, it's not on the Switch. So what? Of course it's not on the Switch. Switch can't even do 720p native. Come on. Come on. I mean, it's funny. There's people that are upset, if certain games come to Switch and they run better or look a little better that were on Wii U or whatever, because they're like, but they can't do that because it diminishes my purchase of the game on Wii U. I'm like, why? Because more people are playing it? How does that hurt your experience? Because it's better? Okay, this is what companies do.
It's a stronger platform.
Yeah, I mean, LA Noire is going to be factually better. I don't know if it'll be better on Switch per se, but it's going to be better on the other platforms. Who cares?
Yeah,
it doesn't diminish your purchase way back in the day when it came out. Same with Skyrim. Like I don't know why people feel like just because the game is better now on another platform, it hurts your original purchase. Why? Mm-hmm. You got to play this before all those other people and enjoy this amazing experience with hundreds of hours.
Mm-hmm.
So now more people get to experience it, and they get a little better experience because it's more modernized. Why do we have to be so selfish like that? I think a lot of it's because console wars and people wanted to justify their purchase. Yeah. I don't know why people feel like they need to justify their purchase to other people. I hate that I need to justify my purchase of the Switch to all the Xbox people. Why? The only person I need to justify it to is myself.
Right.
If I'm happy with my purchase, who cares if someone else is playing Odyssey on the X at 4K and I'm not?
No, my question is if you ask them, would you sacrifice knowing if you knew that this game was going to be remade on the next platform when you bought it, would you have bought it? Are you gonna wait until?
Yeah, what? And the argument is like, here's the deal: these Switch games that are coming out right now.
Yeah, you don't know.
They're going to be ported. They're going to be ported to whatever the next platform is. Let's say Nintendo just comes right out and says, "Hey, look, all the Switch games they're going to be playable on our next platform." You don't know what that means.
Yeah.
You assume it's going to be like a better treatment, but you don't know. You don't know what that next platform is, but you're just going to not buy it and hold off. You know what? I'm going to wait 6 years until I know what that platform is and the game comes out.
Yeah.
Or are you going to buy it now when it's already out?
Right.
All they're doing by bringing these games to more platforms and updating them is making the fan base bigger for those games.
Mm-hmm. Well, and making a little bit more money.
Well, I mean, it's for money. Bottom line, that's why they do it. But for gamers' purposes, there's more people playing Skyrim today because they bring Skyrim to every single platform than there would be if they had just left it alone on PC back in the day. Mm-hmm. It doesn't devalue the PC you own. It doesn't devalue any of it.
Time does that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Truth.
It's I don't know. It just bugs me because it's all console war related. I think at the end of the day,
Yeah.
As I said, I'm not saying that Nintendo should release their games on all the other platforms, but if they did, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
It's a good for them. They're going to make a bunch more money. It's a good, smart business decision for them, especially if they have their handheld line. That's kind of separate.
Mhm.
But I mean, it really doesn't matter to me. If I can have a bigger community playing Breath of the Wild, like, you want to know why Breath of the Wild or Zelda games never sold more than 10 million units? Because it's on a Nintendo platform.
Mhm.
You release that on Sony's platform, it'll sell 10 million just on that platform alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's because Nintendo's games have a wider audience than just Nintendo systems. People just don't want to buy Nintendo systems to play their games because Nintendo systems don't always have all the other games they want to play.
Yeah.
So when you buy a Nintendo system, a lot of people only have the money. This is what console wars I think really exists. Is I own an Xbox One, I have a Wii U, I have a PC. A lot of people only have one of those.
Mhm.
One
Right.
platform they can play games on because it is an investment.
Yeah.
Think of all the money I spent on Switch this year. Even if I didn't work at Nintendo Prime, I still would have bought Odyssey, still would have bought Mario Plus Rabbids, would have bought Splatoon 2. I didn't buy ARMS, that was sent to me. Thank you so much, Brian.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
Good
it's
job, Brian.
yeah. That's why I'm playing it now. I finally have the game.
Class act.
Yep. Oh yeah, and if I'm going to thank him, I also need to thank Mark Greenberg. You bought me my copy of Fire Emblem Warriors. I would have never played that if you didn't buy it.
Wow.
So thank you so
So
much.
cool.
Thank you so much for you guys' support.
You
Because
guys are awesome.
it's expanding my horizon. The thing is, like, I played Hyrule Warriors. I'm not doing an impression video of Fire Emblem anymore because Mario's coming out, and I feel like I missed the boat on that. Probably should have did it last weekend. But Fire Emblem Warriors is better than Hyrule Warriors in almost every conceivable way.
Wow.
And I would have never known that if I didn't play it.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying my time with this game so much more than I did in the hundreds of hours I sunk into Hyrule Warriors for Zelda Informer.
Hundreds?
Hundreds.
Wow.
It takes like 1,000 hours to 100% the game.
That's insane.
That's if you include all the DLC maps and everything.
Sure.
Now, I didn't do that personally because I had no reason to. We weren't making guides, or anything for it at the time. But I, as a Zelda fan, feel like I need to experience as much as I can to have a cohesive conversation. It's more like when you're pigeonholed into a franchise like that, you have to do everything you can to know everything possible.
Well, and especially when...
Whereas Nintendo Prime, people can forgive me if they're like, oh, you don't know everything about Pokemon? You don't know everything about Mario?
Yeah.
Well, look how many games you have to cover. It's
Right.
impossible for you to know everything.
Well, and you also have, when you're into just the one game, and the game comes out how many years apart, of course you're going to have to know as much as you can.
And that's the thing. Like, well, if you were excited as excited for Fire Emblem Warriors as you were for Hyrule Warriors, you would have bought it. Like, you're right. But I haven't had the opportunity. Like, how many times have I told you I want Fire Emblem Fates?
Mm-hmm.
I want it. I want it. But now I don't because I have Switch, so I have no interest to play the 3DS games anymore. But at the time, I really, really wanted the game because I loved Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
I played whatever game was on the GameCube and Fire Emblem Awakening. Those are the only two Fire Emblem games I've ever played, and I loved them to death. Sunk hundreds of hours in, even though you don't need to. I just love them. I didn't buy any of the DLC in Awakening. That was the one thing that I was kind of iffy on because it felt almost a little bit like Dragon Age Inquisition at the time, where like you get to a part and it's like, oh, to get this you need to spend this money. I'm like, day one, really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think I'm gonna pass on that, which is fine. The game ended up being fantastic, anyways, and as every Fire Emblem fan knows, Awakening saved the franchise. And that was one reason I bought it because I loved Fire Emblem so much on GameCube that when they're like, hey, if Awakening doesn't sell well, we think the franchise is done. That already sold me. I mean, I know it's a pity sale, and Nintendo, most companies shouldn't really say that. The game should sell because it's good, but it's like it ended up being good.
Yeah.
So I don't regret the purchase. I loved it. But I just covered in Zelda, sinking hundreds of hours. I don't have hundreds of hours to sink into another Fire Emblem game. I couldn't find that time. Now I can, which is why I'm excited for Fire Emblem on Switch. Why I'm excited for all these games coming to Switch. Period.
Oh, yeah, the not just Fire Emblem Warriors, but you mean like the
actual Fire Emblem.
Yes.
And the thing is,
yes.
The reason I wasn't going to get Fire Emblem Warriors is because I know how the game plays, right? It's a Warriors game.
It's a Warriors game. Yeah,
it's a Warriors game.
Yeah.
But so one, I'm like, oh, it's just going to be like Hyrule Warriors. I'm like, okay, but with Fire Emblem characters. I'm like, cool. I'm like, that's cool. But they're announcing all these characters. I'm like, I don't know who these characters are because I've only played 2 of the games. I don't know these characters from Fates. I don't know these characters from other games. It was the same reason I stopped playing Fire Emblem Heroes on my phone. I loved it until it started to be all these characters I don't know, and I felt like I'm so far behind in the lore on this franchise.
Oh, there's so much lore.
I can't get into this game as much as I feel like I should because I don't understand why this character is important.
Yeah, I think most people just look at him and go, "Oh, he's cool. He's my new favorite."
That's what's nice about Zelda games.
Yeah.
That's actually what's nice about Zelda games. You don't have to know all the lore to get really into the current game because the games kind of forget the rest of the lore every time.
To a certain extent.
And Mario's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
It's all self-contained.
Yeah.
Yes, there's references.
Yes.
But if you don't get those references, it doesn't really matter. They're not like a core part.
You're not going to know that you missed a reference.
Whereas Fire Emblem Heroes, like it's references everywhere. And if you don't know... And that's what I was worried about.
That one is specifically meant to do references, but largely Fire Emblem games don't do that.
Well, and that's also because they want you spending money to get certain characters and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But that's what I think. Fire Emblem Warriors, when everyone's freaking out about Tharja or whatever being a DLC character, even though they're in the game, I'm like, I don't even know who that is. And that might even be in one of the games I played. I just don't know who that is. And
right, because it was one of the characters you cared
about. It's like Frederick. Great. Like, that's what's so cool is like at the beginning of the game, like, oh, this is why I got into Fire Emblem Warriors, why I got started getting excited because they introduced you Robin and Frederick and Marth and like all the characters I do know are like introduced right away. So I'm like, this is awesome. I love this. But now I'm getting to the point where there's characters I don't know and I'm like, oh well, self-contained story. Fire Emblem Warriors is kind of self-contained. It's cool. I mean, it does have that little thing like, oh, I don't know why I'm in your world when I'm from this world.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
Fire Emblem Heroes all over again, but but I don't know. I guess we're just gonna kind of cut off the podcast right there because I think we're getting a little over time. We have to go.
We forgot about the indie one though.
Oh, the indie. Okay, I have to let 5J talk on this.
Yeah,
because he loves indies. I love indies.
Yep.
To be fair. But 5J is like the indie king.
I'm going to abstain.
I buy a ton of indies on the Switch. A ton of indies. And one that I have to recommend to you, Nate, is Elliot's Quest. Because you just said that previously your favorite Zelda game of all time was Zelda 2.
I've played Elliot's Quest on PC.
Perfect. Great. So I love that it's portable.
Yes.
PC was also on Wii U and stuff. So it's not a new game, but fans of Zelda 2, check it out.
Yeah, it's just like the Shovel Knights and all that stuff out there. Like, very. It's a different. It's not Shovel Knight, folks. It's other aspects of Zelda 2 in there.
So I'll make maybe then I'll do 3 picks then for indies of stuff that's coming up.
Take all 3 of them.
If you guys aren't going to do anything,
it's fine. You keep more up to date on the indies scene than I do because there's so many games coming out. I don't know how to keep track.
There's so many. I'm not even up to date. It's not even close. There's so many games. But I do have a few picks. For one, Rocket League. Yes, it's an old game, but now it's portable and there's local multiplayer for the first time ever. So that's also an exciting new feature.
Play with me.
Yeah. What was that?
I was just telling Eric, hey, Eric, that's a game you don't have to buy. You can just play with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. So that's really, really cool. And it has all the DLC that's been on all the other platforms. They're bringing all of it in.
60 FPS as well.
Excellent. Yes, so cool. So yes, very excited for that, even though it's not a new game.
By the way, I'm excited that it's 60 FPS because it has crossplay.
Yeah.
And if it didn't have 60 FPS, you would be at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good point. You would actually be at a disadvantage. Yes.
Yeah, that actually would be my pick. To be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I know you like Rocket League.
Yeah.
So.
And I would totally pick Samus's Gunship
you don't have to buy
as my car of choice.
So shut up.
But I'm a big DeLorean fan, Back to the Future. So even though Samus's gunship looks awesome, I gotta still stick with my flying DeLorean.
Oh, I love that series so much.
Then I got a couple of games that are in the style of one of my favorite series that has been gone for a while. So you may know of a game called Advance Wars.
I know a game you're going to bring up.
Yes, basically Fire Emblem-like style combat, but military-focused. And instead of being like a permanent type situation, it's like you're generating troops, and when they're gone, they're gone. But you can always make more of them. There's a big money system involved, it's like balancing resources and taking over parts of the map and stuff. So. Yeah, but there's sort of a weapons triangle of, direct attacks versus range attacks versus blah, 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 blah.
Air attacks. And,
yeah, exactly. So it's a really cool series. I personally like Advance Wars more than Fire Emblem. it's a taste thing, but they're both great series.
They are different.
Mhm.
I mean, the similarities are that it's grid-based combat, but it's very, very
literally
different.
the same studio.
Very different. Like when you talk about the troop generating and all stuff, like it's really kind of like, I kind of mentioned it before. It's like Risk, but without using cards and stuff.
Sure.
It's like a virtual version of Risk.
Sure. So Advance Wars, we haven't seen that since the DS, where they had 2 games and then it's gone. So there are 2 indie games coming out that are very much in the style of Advance Wars specifically.
I only know of one,
not
so I'm
Fire
about to get educated.
Yes. So one of them is Wargroove, coming from the same studio that makes Stardew Valley, Chucklefish. So that's one, and the other one is Tiny Metal, and I forget what that studio is.
Yeah, I forget too. That's the one I heard of, was Tiny Metal.
Yes, yeah. So, and both of those sound great. They both look a little bit different from each other, so I think you'd have no problem playing them both and feeling like they were very different experiences. I probably have seen more about Wargroove than Tiny Metal, but it sounds like, Nate, you were kind of the opposite.
Tiny Metal has just been in the news recently on they had some trailers and stuff at Nintendo Everything. So
yeah,
I was watching some videos on it because as soon as I saw the screenshot, I'm like, Tiny Metal, is this the new Advance Wars? It is the new Advance Wars.
Yep.
I'm like, all right. I've been asking for it. Anytime I ask for a franchise to return, indie developers make it happen.
Yeah.
Nintendo, why are you letting indie developers make the games you should be making? Like, why do we not have an F-Zero, but we have the Neo Geo?
Fast racing.
The fast racing. Like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, why are they giving us a game that we clearly want that you're not?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you're making the indie jobs easy. You don't even have to come up with original ideas.
Yeah, right.
Look at old Nintendo IPs that everybody wants that they don't make anymore and just make a new one.
Yeah.
Print money.
Call it something else. Print money. Exactly.
Yes.
I mean,
actually,
Golf Story.
Nicholas is making an F-Zero-like game as well.
What? Which one?
Nicholas, that the studio makes like Cave Story and stuff.
Yeah.
Typically, they just do like 8-bit style stuff. They're making a full 3D futuristic racer.
Are they?
Yeah, and it's called Redout. So I'm really looking forward to that one too.
It's just like I want to do Time Splitters.
Oh.
Yes.
Indie developers, I'm telling you right
games.
now, indie developers, Time Splitters ain't coming back. You step up. Step up. I'm ready. I'm so ready. And if you make it Switch exclusive, I just said I don't want Switch exclusives, I don't care. I don't care. Make it Switch exclusive. You know what? No, whatever. Time Splitters was an all. Make it for everything. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just think indie developers, I think, are the one excuse that have the whole exclusive thing I talk about. Indie developers are the one that have the excuse because they usually don't have a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
So it costs a lot of money to develop on multiple platforms. So exclusivity with indies helps, and it helps get attention for your game as well. Like Golf Story got a bunch of attention because it was exclusive to Switch. You don't have to be. Stardew Valley wasn't. But that's the thing. You can make it exclusive from one platform and bring it to another later. If your game's good enough, like Stardew Valley, it's going to sell.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm telling you, now the Time Splitters game. I know it's another multiplayer FPS, blah, 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 blah. Dude, there's nothing like Time Splitters on the market.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. It's just like saying, make another Splatoon-like game. Yeah, but there's nothing like Splatoon.
Yeah.
So, right. It stands alone.
Yeah, like Time Splitters is stands alone in terms of FPS multiplayer game. It needs to come back. All right, I think it's gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it for episode 37 of the Nintendo Prime podcast. Again, I want to thank 5J for joining us, and
no problem.
I want to remind everyone out there, go follow his channel. Seriously, if by the end of this first week of Mario Odyssey, if we do not have him at 300, I am going to choke myself out live on stream.
Oh my goodness! Wow!
To save my life, guys.
Don't let him do that. Don't let him do it.
No,
to save my life.
You do realize that there's probably going to be a lot of people out there that are just going to go, well, this will be interesting to see.
Yes. Yeah.
I wonder how many will even get to the end of the podcast. There'll be like that one person that I listened to the full 2 hours, and is he really going to choke himself out?
I got to see this.
That's what I know. Is he actually? Guys, I'm not going to kill myself. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. Instead of me rewarding people, I guess just to see what happens.
Yeah.
if 5J if we can get him to 300, we will do another giveaway.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I've been thinking of some stuff here. Do another giveaway, and if we can get him to 300, we're gonna get him even higher than that because we're gonna include 5J's channel in the next giveaway.
Yeah.
Ooh. The stretch goal, get me to 400.
Yeah.
Well, my goal.
Kidding.
Here's my goal thing.
no.
If we get him to 300 and do this, my goal personally is to not get you to 400. I'm gonna get you to 1,000.
Oh, that would be amazing.
But again,
Oh, man.
and I just say that because our Super Mario Odyssey giveaway, which ended today, end of the day of recording, I should say,
Yes.
that drove like 1,400 new people to our channel.
Wow.
So,
Very cool.
which is awesome. Thank you all the new people following us. Hopefully you stick around. Yeah, I really want to get 5J going. Like, I'm dead serious, guys. When I say I want 5J going, man, let's get him going. I am sick and tired of going to watch his live streams and seeing like 5 people watching every time, the same 5 people, when so many of you guys show up to his streams over here.
Yeah.
Seriously, he does the same quality, if not better, over on his channel. Come on. Let's get it done.
Thanks, Nate.
I trust you guys. Let's make it happen. Someone's going to win some free stuff. All right.
Can't
That
go
being said,
wrong.
I'd probably pick the winner for that Odyssey thing.
Live right now. Just kidding. I'm just
live a week later.
Wait.
It's okay. I'll announce the winner in a video probably tomorrow. Tomorrow, as in Friday, the day that Odyssey's supposed to release, even though I'm getting it on the Thursday. I mean, technically, it's tomorrow for the East Coast.
No, it's not quite yet.
Well, when they get the game, it will be.
Yes.
For me, it'll be like, haha, you got it on the day of release. I got it the day before.
Technicalities.
Of course, the people
got it the exact same time.
People on the West Coast, they technically get it 2 hours before the next day. Or 3 hours. Those bastards.
Yeah.
Damn, it's not even late for them.
No. They have all
I
the
need to
time in the
go-
world.
I need to move over there and be like, oh, I was planning to live stream till 3 a.m. If I did that over there, it'd be like a 6-hour stream.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Guys, I should start the Mario Odyssey live stream. This didn't happen, but it's been a dream of mine. Because it's mobile and single player, play it while live streaming from my phone of me playing it.
Yeah.
That's super low quality in a car,
Oh, yeah.
jiggling around
With a VR headset.
with a VR headset.
No, you just got to get a gimbal and you're all good.
All right, I think that's me. It's time to cut off this podcast. Thank you everyone for tuning in to episode 37. I do want to announce because it technically came back in the middle of the podcast last week, but we do have our full audio version of the podcast now available again on iTunes and Podbean. I am working with someone right now to get it up on the Google, some other apps for Android, so you don't have to download the Podbean app. I know the Podbean app is not like this super popular app people use on Android. I realize that, but I'm working on it. Stay tuned. But for now, I mean, there'll be a link to it down in the description. You can stream it if you want. The Podbean, you don't even have to download the app. You can still directly download the file off of Podbean and play it locally on your thing anyways. But I know people like the convenience of like iTunes automatically downloads it every week, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, well, we're going to have that working for you, but just be happy. We have it back, so you don't have to subscribe on Patreon to hear it, which is what it's been for like a month. But if you do subscribe for $5 on Patreon, you do get to hear it early.
Yes.
Because we still do release it on Patreon first before anybody else gets it. So for $5 a month, that you get that. $1 a month, you get to see the crazy vlog that's going to have the Odyssey launch / I guess Assassin's Creed / Wolfenstein launch all at once. The war, how the more Nintendo fans show up, then Wolfenstein will, I don't know. I'm going to be over the rocking Nintendo Prime shirt and people will be like, what the hell is that fruitcake? Or they're going to think I work there. Like, oh, you work for Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. What can you tell me about it? Tell you about what? Odyssey?
Nothing.
You don't want to know.
NDA.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. It's not midnight yet. Can't tell you.
God.
Anyways, folks, all right. It's been an awesome podcast. We always have a hard time ending because, like, how do you end such a good camaraderie of people?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Impossible.
It's impossible, but you know what makes it possible? Me looking at the clock and realizing we gotta get the hell out of here.
Yes, I know.
We gotta go get Odyssey. All right, folks, we'll catch you in the next one.